to You by Puffin.
Grimm's Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm, read by Chloe Pirrie and Barry Fitzgerald. Hans in Luck. Hans had served his master 7 years, and at last said to him, "Master, my time is up. I should like to go home and see my mother, so give me my wages." And the master said, "You have been a faithful and good servant, so your pay shall be handsome." Then he gave him a piece of silver that was as big as his head. Hans took out his pocket handkerchief, put the piece of silver into it, threw it over his shoulder, and jogged off homewards. As he went lazily on, dragging one foot after another, a man came in sight, trotting along gaily on a capital horse. "Ah," said Hans aloud, "what a fine thing it is to ride on horseback. There he sits as if he was at home in his chair. He trips against no stones, spares his shoes, and yet gets on he hardly knows how." The horseman heard this and said, "Well, Hans, why do you go on foot then, eh?" said he. "I have this load to carry. To be sure it is silver, but it is so heavy that I can't hold up my head, and it hurts my shoulder sadly. What do you say to changing?" said the horseman. "I will give you my horse, and you shall give me the silver." "With all my heart," said Hans. "But I tell you one thing, you'll have a weary task to drag it along." The horseman got off, took the silver, helped Hans up, gave him the bridle into his hand, and said, "When you want to go very fast, you must smack your lips loud and cry, 'Jip!'" Hans was delighted as he sat on the horse and rode merrily on. After a time, he thought he should like to go a little faster, so he smacked his lips and cried, "Yip!" Away went the horse, full gallop, and before Hans knew what he was about, he was thrown off and lay in a ditch by the roadside, and his horse would have run off if a shepherd who was coming by driving a cow had not stopped it. Hans soon came to himself and got upon his legs again. He was sadly vexed and said to the shepherd, "Oh, this riding's no joke when a man gets on a beast like this, that stumbles and flings him off as if he would break his neck. However, I'm off now once for all. I like your cow a great deal better. One can walk along at one's leisure behind her and have milk, butter and cheese every day into the bargain. What would I give to have such a cow?" "Well," said the shepherd, "if you are so fond of her, I will change my cow for your horse." "Done," said Hans merrily. The shepherd jumped on the horse and away he rode. Hans drove off his cow quietly and thought his bargain a very lucky one. "If I have only a piece of bread, and I certainly shall be able to get that, I can, whenever I like, eat my butter and cheese with it. And when I'm thirsty, I can milk my cow and drink the milk. What can I wish for more?" When he came to an inn, he halted, ate up all his bread, and gave away his last penny for a glass of beer. Then he drove his cow towards his mother's village, and the heat grew greater as noon came on, till at last he found himself on a wide heath that would take him more than an hour to cross, and he began to be so hot and parched that his tongue clave to the roof of his mouth. "I can find a cure for this," thought he. "Now I will milk my cow and quench my thirst." So he tied her to the stump of a tree and held his leathern cap to milk into. But not a drop was to be had. While he was trying his luck and managing the matter very clumsily, the uneasy beast gave him a kick on the head that knocked him down, and there he lay a long while, senseless. Luckily, a butcher came by, driving a pig in a wheelbarrow. "What's the matter with you?" said the butcher as he helped him up. Hans told him what had happened, and the butcher gave him a flask, saying, "There, drink and refresh yourself. Your cow will give you no milk. She is an old beast, good for nothing but the slaughterhouse." "Alas, alas!"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?